If you ask anyone who gambles regularly, you'll get advice. If you ask someone else who gambles regularly, you'll get a lot of different advice. There's no magic secret to winning big. That's why it's called gambling. And casinos are pretty straightforward about the fact that they're there to entertain you and separate you from your money. Still, there are some basic tips that can help a novice not completely lose their life savings the moment they step onto the floor. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 secrets casinos really don't want you to know.
#25.
The house always wins, but sometimes, in some games, the house is way more likely to win than in others. Games such as 3-card poker, Caribbean stud, and double exposure blackjack may have bigger payouts, but they also have much bigger losses for the player.
24.
You're always being watched. Always. Casinos have cameras everywhere and can and do track your movements the entire time. They can even see the hand you're holding. It's there for your safety, to watch for wicked people who may prey on happy gamblers.
23.
And yes, if you're wondering, security can tell if you're cheating. Just like players have tells, cheaters have tells, and security is trained to watch for them. So don't try anything.
22.
Always wash your hands after handling chips. They're disgustingly dirty. Just wash your hands.
21.
Yes, there are options for paid private adult entertainment. Prostitution isn't legal in Las Vegas, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Unless there's a problem or transactions are completed on camera, like in a parking garage, security usually just stays out of everyone's way.
20.
A good table game for novice gamblers is Baccarat, as it requires zero skill, and many casinos have mini Baccarat tables with a $5 minimum. Not only that, the odds are pretty decent against the house. You literally just place a bet on the player or the banker, and then let the dealer do their thing. Ta-da!
19.
People commit suicide at casinos more frequently than you'd think, and it's kept very hush-hush.
18.
Dealers usually have to wear clothing issued by the casino, and it doesn't have pockets, so nothing can be hidden or stolen. Aprons must be worn slightly above the waist so that nothing can be tucked into a waistband either.
17.
Cheating does happen, and it's usually not as elaborate as you'd think. Something as simple as switching out chips, for example. Sometimes people even convince the dealer to go along with them, which means that casinos are often as wary of their employees as they are of their patrons. But don't cheat. You'll eventually get caught, and it makes you a horrible person.
16.
The average gambling addict is around $40,000 US in debt before they seek help. The house always wins. When you gamble, look at it as you spending that money for the thrill of the chance, not a way to earn a living or make your dreams come true. There are far more sad endings than happy ones.
15.
Sometimes the dealer feels bad for you. They know you're not going to make your money back by doubling down, and that you might even be in over your head. And honestly, it's sad. If you're even a little bit of a jerk, they absolutely notice. If you're quite a bit of a jerk, they notice, they remember, and they may inform coworkers, like security.
14.
There aren't clocks or windows in most casinos, although the windows rule has been broken a few times. If you're focused on your game and you don't have anything you can easily glance at that gives you a reference of how long you've been there, you're far more likely to stay longer and lose more money.
13.
Listen to the dealer. If they tell you a table is no good, they aren't lying. They have nothing to lose by offering you this good free information. There's no conspiracy. They don't want to deal with grumpy players who lost, and tip poorly, because they didn't listen.
12.
Blackjack also has decent odds of winning. The house edge is around 1% in most casinos, and is pretty easy to play. If you have no idea what you're doing, go to a less full table during the afternoon or a slower time, and the dealer will walk you through the game. You're just playing against the dealer, not other players, like in poker.
11.
Don't get distracted by the sparkly cleavage and free drinks. Casinos have something called party pits that exemplify everyone's stereotypical idea of Vegas: strippers, gambling, and booze. But those tables with the bikini-clad dealers usually have much smaller payouts that basically double the house's edge.
10,
Think of slot machines like arcades. You're paying to play and look at the fancy lights. Keep in mind that the fancier the machine, the more likely the game will be complicated, and they generally offer less payouts. Avoid, unless you just want to pay $20 to see flashy lights.
9,
Quit while you're ahead. Every casino knows their odds and knows mathematically when, despite your winning streak, they're likely to take more of your money than you've taken of theirs. In the end, the house always wins isn't just a saying. It's a mathematical result.
8,
Sometimes people, particularly elderly gamblers, will mess themselves right at the slot machine instead of walking away from a lucky machine to use the restroom. Addiction is real, and it's always awful and pathetic.
7,
Yes, card counting is legal. Casinos don't usually expect you to do this, but can't stop you. It's also far more difficult than most people realize and takes quite a while to learn. There are maybe 100 professional card counters in the world. Even if card counting is legal, a casino is perfectly within their rights to kick you out and ban you for it. The dealer is watching you. Security is watching you. The pit boss may be watching you. If they don't throw you out, it's very likely they're going to change the rules to trip you up.
6,
Don't play against the locals. If the dealer knows everyone by name and starts asking about their kids, leave that table. These people make their living off tourists in casinos, and they'll likely eat you for lunch.
5,
Don't sit down and spend a bunch of money at a game you have no idea how to play. Except that in order to learn to play a new game, you're going to have to likely lose whatever money you put in. Stick to the basics and stay away from the weird if you want to go home with something in your pocket other than regret.
4,
Slot machines and video poker machines with lower denominations have much lower payouts. So even if you win at the nickel slots, you're not going to be winning big. However, if you increase the amount you gamble on each bet, the payout will be bigger. The payout is based on the amount you bet, not how many bets total have been placed or how many times the machine has been used.
3,
Play at fuller tables. More people per table, the slower the game goes, and the more time you have to think. This is particularly helpful if you've got the basics of the game and need a chance to practice strategy.
2,
Everyone gets free drinks, even those who play the penny slots, if you play for long enough. Just keep in mind that most of those are watered down, and the less you're spending, the more infrequent the drinks will be.
1,
Don't play Keno. The odds are absolutely terrible. Donate or save the money instead. Or try one of the giant, huge, cheap buffets. Just don't play Keno. Literally, no one has ever matched all 20 numbers on a 20-spot ticket. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the bottom right so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 3 videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.